Welcome back. So for hosts and hostesses out there serving wine with holiday meals, the inevitable question always comes up: what should I serve with that meal? Well, joining us now in the studio is Stephanie Brown. She's a wine enthusiast and author. Her new book, Sipping Sense: Uncorking the Flavors of Wine, Entertaining and Healthy Cooking, has made Boston Magazine's list of 30 bold and bougie gifts for those on your nice list. Welcome, Stephanie. How you doing today? Good to see you.
I'm doing just fine, Karen. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, let's start by saying that wine's just not for bougie people. Everybody can enjoy a good bottle of wine, right?
Correct.
So there are a lot of wine books out there. Tell us what makes yours stand apart from the rest.
So I actually really don't call my book a wine book or a cookbook, although it has all of those things in it. It's more like a lifestyle book. You know, lifestyle for me is wine. And the book has everything from how to drink wine, what kind of glass to use, some tips around how you actually pick wines to go with your food, entertaining advice. You know, there's some examples of what a table should look like.
Yeah.
It's basically a lifestyle book.
It's a great book. I got a copy right here. Now, you talk about entertaining with wine. You know, it's second nature for you. But where did you draw your inspiration from?
So actually probably two places. One is my family. When I really started to think about the book itself and what would go in it, I said, you know, I reflected on like, why does entertaining matter to me? And I reflected on all the things that I used to watch as I was growing up with my grandmother, my mother. My mother had a bridge club, which in turn turned into what I created as a wine club that you and I were part of.
Yes, indeed. We can't talk about that on camera, but yes. Okay.
Okay. But you know, so everything really is stemmed from legacy. And so the book itself has actually legacy recipes in it because of the things that I really enjoyed back when I was growing up and started to make as an adult. It also has pictures of things that I still use today that were passed down from my family. So entertaining is in my blood.
Yeah. So you brought some wine for us to sip. What do we have here?
So I really enjoy sponsoring and promoting wines made by producers of color. So all these wines come from members of an organization called the Association of African American Vintners, where I first met the founder, Mac McDonald, way back in the day.
When we were in California.
When we were in California
Yes.
together. And he actually exposed us to one of the vineyards that we're going to talk about, the Brown Vineyard. The Brown Vineyard makes an amazing Zinfandel. All of these wines can be bought at Urban Grape here in Boston, which is owned by a person of color as well, over on Columbus Avenue. But the first two are blends made by the Brown family. Brown is the oldest and the first African American vintner and winery in Napa Valley.
Wow.
So they've actually been able to, they started selling grapes from their vineyards and then they eventually became winemakers themselves. So the first one is a blend. It's mostly Cab Franc and Zinfandel, and there's three other grapes in there, so it can be called a Meritage. And the second one is also a blend of Zinfandel and Pinot Noir. The last two are both Pinot Noirs, but one from California and one from Oregon. Theopolis is from California. Ironically, the owner of Theopolis is a lawyer. And so she took on a second career to start making wine in California. And the third one is made by Andre Mack out of Oregon, which I love Pinots out of Oregon because they're much more rich and full bodied for me. And Andre Mack used to be the sommelier at Per Se, a fancy restaurant in New York. So all of them are made by producers of color that I think we'll enjoy.
All right, now we did a little pre-pour of the first wine of Brown Estate, and as soon as it came out of the bottle, I could just get the bouquet. So it's time to sip and swirl, everybody.
Yeah.
Tell us about this wine. What are some of the essences in the wine that we
So
captured?
this wine is really fruit forward. And when I say fruit forward, when you actually put it to your nose, you can actually smell a lot of the fruits that are part of the grape bouquet itself. It's pretty big and heavy, so it's got a little bit of alcohol in it, so drink responsibly. But it also has not too much acidity, which is why we actually are doing charcuterie trays today.
Yes, so tell us about pairing wine with food and how do you do it?
I really love charcuterie trays. You can make charcuterie trays just about out of anything.
Okay.
And I love going into your refrigerator and finding all the leftovers of everything and just creating a beautiful board of charcuterie. But because we have a lot of cheese on this board and we've got meat that has oil, a nice big heavy wine goes really well with it. Now, we could also drink the Pinots because of the acidity in the Pinot, and that goes well with some of the things that are on the board as well, like the olives and also the meats themselves.
What's one thing you don't like to put on your on your trays, rather?
Fruit.
I kind of gave it away. Why not? Why not?
Well, because fruit's got a lot of acidity in it, and usually, either whether you're drinking red wine or white wine, it just doesn't match. It will turn your wine very sour, and that's not what you want to get when you're drinking a nice glass of wine. And it really does, and it turns the fruit unsweet because the two coming together just clash.
Are cheeses a good thing in general to pair with wine?
Cheeses are a good thing in general to pair with wine. There's light cheese and I call this stinky cheese because so you got the range, but most of the time all of those will do well with wine because of the heaviness and the creaminess that's sitting in the
Okay, so we talked about these travels to wine country. Back in 1988, you brought us all together for a wine group called Divas Uncorked. Are there any recommendations for how some of our viewers can start their own wine appreciation groups?
Well, I started Divas because I didn't like book clubs. And I said, why not have a wine club that, basically does the same thing? I'm learning and I'm educating myself and the people within the organization. So bring a group of friends together. You can do a monthly dinner together. But the premise of every single get together had to be something around education. Because the more you learn about wine, the history of wine, the areas that the grapes are grown, the more you appreciate what it takes to actually bring a glass to market.
And it doesn't have to be an expensive bottle of wine in order for people to enjoy it. There's wine at all price points.
There's wines at all price points.
All right, let's have a holiday sip to your book, Sipping Sense. Stephanie Brown, thank you for joining us. Everybody, don't forget the book is called Sipping Sense, Uncorking the Flavors of Wine, Entertaining and Healthy Cooking, and it's available on Amazon. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and follow me on X at Karen Holmes Ward. And you can watch the show on our very local app. It's free to download on your phone, tablet, or smart TV. Have a good afternoon. Yay!